This is a part of our weekly community meeting. You all have been a part of the community meeting. So this is the Sunday career talk where we take various topics. We sometimes do a webinar, sometimes do an audio event. And the format of this is I'm going to talk something about today's topic, that is importance of certifications in the AI and data science career path. And we will take it 15 minutes first section question and answers from the community, and then again I have one more part to discuss about the benefits and should you actually spend the time to get a certification and for whom it is valid, and then we will have second round of Q&A from the community. So I will request everyone here to participate. Use the option of LinkedIn audio event. It is a new technology wherein you have to use your laptop if you want to speak. So if you have if you want to hear, it is okay on the mobile, but if you want to speak, there is an option in below to allow to speak. Please raise your hands, and according to the priority of the person who has raised their hands, I'm going to give them the options. So Patrick, you want to say something before I start?
No, go ahead. Just to say welcome everybody and thank you for joining.
So thank you, Patrick. So yesterday we had an amazing session in our 28th AI community meetup where Sabiha from AWS, she talked about importance. She just talked about the AWS certification path, and she gave them. It was a very interesting meetup. We had 35 plus people attending that meetup, and it is there in our community details. It is, all the details are there, recordings are there, and the transcript is there. Today why I chose this specific topic for our career talk is there were a lot of questions about Python certification, and I also did some research, and I was not sure that there is a Python certification because Python is an open source, and there is no governing body for certification for Python, because Python is a very ever changing language. There are so many packages coming, so there is no proper certification for that because it is not a vendor specific thing. So that's why I thought I will talk about importance of certification specifically to help you guys here to plan your journey if you are interested in the AI and data science career. And yesterday I was talking about the competition in the AI and data science market. There is a lot of competition in the AI and data science market, and we need to just to distinguish ourselves from the other candidates, right? We need to have it is good to have a certification, and I will start. You all have seen whenever I talked about the learning path, the career path for mostly the data analyst, I'm going to talk mostly about that. It is Excel, Power BI, SQL, Python, then statistics and maths, and then a little bit of machine learning and projects. This is a path. There is no substitute for the fundamentals of these things that I am talking about and doing a project. But in this journey, and personally I have seen certifications really help if you want to land your first job, and mainly it is good for the people who are entering to the data science and AI field, because one of the most used tools for visualization you all might know right now is Microsoft Power BI. There is a because some of my friends were hiring for visualization developers, and they asked me, do you know any PL300 certified? So that is the Power BI certified candidates. So it is easy for them. If you are PL300 certified, that is Power BI certified, they know that you at least know Power BI, because the exam is designed in such a way that you need to know hands-on knowledge of Power BI. It is not like an MCQ type of question, like a theoretical question. If you have used Power BI, you have practiced Power BI, then only you will be able to use you will be able to pass that exam. It is not an easy exam. I have some of my mentees, they could not clear it in the second or third attempt as well, because this is the reality. You have to be good in Power BI. You need to know it is not easy. You can understand it was easier before to do all the certification, but now they have increased. They are changing the questions at a much regular basis, because the culture of dumps, the culture of you can say dumps. When I say people just take the exams, share the same questions and sell it, that is getting it has been reported a lot. So they are changing the exams every week. So it is very tough to get even to pass, even if you have not studied and spent some time. So this is the reality of these exams. I'm just giving you guys a heads up. So for Excel there is no certification, to be honest. No one asks for certification. But for Power BI, now Power BI visualization, there are two things. I will take step by step according to career path. There is Power BI. So there is a Power BI certification that starts around $165. In India it is 4,000 rupees. Learn the Power BI tool. Spend some time, 2 months in learning the tool. Go through the questions and you can practice and you can clear. But you need to have a path. You need to give at least 5 to 6 hours daily. You can do that in 2 to 3 months. Similarly, Tableau. Tableau is little costly. But if you want to do Tableau, you can do that as well. I am not here to tell which is good or bad. I'm just giving you options in this call. Then we have the next, SQL. Microsoft SQL has a certification, because MS SQL is very, very powerful. If you see an SQL certification, MS SQL certification will tell you that you know SQL and you know the Microsoft SQL Server, because that is the most used in most of the companies. SQL Server is most used, and it is a credible certification. So you already did Microsoft Power BI, you already did MS SQL. So these two certifications are very helpful. Python, no certifications. Yesterday someone was putting in the community meeting, they were putting websites for Python certification, but it is not it's not a certified option. It is just, they are just using the name Python institution, but there is no governing body of Python, because we have NumFocus, which does not deal into certifications and all those things. It only develops in open source contribution. So the certification is not there for Python specifically. So these are for the skill based, these are the two main certifications right now that is there. Now we will go to the vendor based certification. Vendor based certification, we all know, because I'm just continuing from yesterday's talk, AWS. For AWS, there are two major certifications if you want to get into the data science and AI field. One is the AWS Certified Data Analytics Specialty, that is the DAS C01 certification. This is it contains, if I can just do the distribution, it does the collection part. 18% is the collection part, storage and data management is around 22%, data processing is 24%, analyzing and visualization is 18%, and data security is 18%. So this is the distribution of the course, the overview of the exam and the materials. So it is more related to the data analyst work, little bit of visualization and security, nothing to do with machine learning and the other things. Then we have the second certification, which I will suggest you guys, if you're serious, do the first one as well as the second one. So there is a you can say a path in the machine learning path. This is also one. If you want to do only one, if you want to do in these two, then this one is better. This one is the machine learning specialty. I will just read the number if you want to make a note of it. AWS Certified Machine Learning Specialty MLSC01 certification. This has a very good distribution, and I really like this. I was doing research before this call. It contains 20% of data engineering, which is very, very important. 24% of EDA, exploratory data analysis, 36% of modeling, because machine learning is all about building models. So in our workshops in the last Saturday, yesterday only, we described machine learning linear regression model. We did a 1 hour workshop where we understood the maths, little bit maths behind it, and we build a model. So modeling is a very big part of these type of certifications. If you know modeling in one particular area, you can replicate it in different platforms as well. And then we have the domain 4, that is the machine learning implementation and operation. So these are the 4 components, and this one is if you want to do one in AWS, and every year it changes, right? Every year the composition changes, the type of questions change, because it is a very ever changing field. We all know that. So this is from the 2023 latest report that I have analyzed, and I'm presenting it to you guys. Before I move to the next section, Patrick, you want to add something, and then we will open up to the floor for questions.
Well, just obviously certifications are very important, and it's an absolute baseline, I think, for anybody's CV. So I don't think if you're a recruiter and you're recruiting people, the very first thing they're going to check are your certifications, I would imagine. So they are very critical, of course.
Great. So now we have people asking their questions. Please, guys, raise your hands. Take this opportunity to ask questions. Every question is a learning opportunity for others as well. Go ahead, Mr. Mayowa.
Yeah, thank you very much. Can you hear me clearly?
Yes. Go ahead.
All right. So my question, I'm going to go straight to the question. I want to ask, what about Tableau? What is your certification advice on someone that wants to take Tableau as a visualization tools to learn apart from Power BI? And which tool is better, Power BI or Tableau? Which one do the workplace ask for when you are about to get a job? Because I'm very proficient in Power BI. And Tableau, I think it's somewhat the same thing, but I rarely use Tableau to visualize my data for clients. Which one is better?
So personally, Mayowa, if I'm pronouncing your name correctly, and I have told this in many of my webinars.
Very correct.
I have told in this many of the webinars that currently Power BI is picking up in the last 1 year. It is picking up because of the adoption among companies for Power BI compared to Tableau. So I personally have been using Tableau for more than 10 years, and I know Tableau is much better than Power BI in visualization, in the use of in the user interface. I agree with that, and I know that, but you have to pay a heavy license for Tableau. But Power BI, it has incorporated in the Microsoft Office suite, and companies don't need to pay extra for that. And that is why many companies are now focusing on Power BI and the whole Microsoft Office 365 suite. And now after the coming of AI Copilot, more focus and more growth of Power BI tools are coming in, where you can build a chat GPT type of thing over your report. Like people can ask questions and you can get answers through the reports, and that is where the future is going to be. No one is going to look at the visualization and ask for an analysis. They will just ask a question: why do you think the sales was less? Please do a data analysis from this visualization, and then the answer is going to come up. And this Power BI has the capability to do this, and much more in the future because of the integration of OpenAI. And I personally feel that, if you ask me personally, Power BI has more future, and the number of jobs also in the last for this first 6 months of 2023, Power BI keyword who had much more jobs on LinkedIn compared to Tableau. So I am giving you statistical data as well, and also my thoughts. So now it really depends upon the what the company is using. But the trend is what I am telling you right now. I hope I answered your question.
Thank you very much. Very clear and spot on. Thank you.
We have yeah, thank you, Mayowa. Hey, Pawan.
Hi, Arshad. I might have missed a little bit at the start. Would you mind just repeating the course code.aws so that I can write it down? That's okay.
Okay, for AWS, there are mainly two things. Can you hear me properly, Pawan? Some background noise is coming.
Yes, I can.
Okay,
I can.
So for AWS, I can hear my echo. Patrick, can you also hear my echo?
I can hear you echoing.
Okay. 1 second. Is it better now? Okay, cool. So I think it was coming. So Pavan, to answer about AWS, there are two main certifications. So I'm not talking about the data engineering and the core AWS associate and consultant. I'm talking with respect to AI and data science. So there are two main certifications as of today that I'm speaking. I will just repeat that. I think let me make him to listening. So I just make a note of it. It is AWS Certified Data Analytics Specialty, DAS C01, and the second one is AWS Certified Machine Learning Specialty, MLS C01. And if we need to do one, I did analysis on both. A little bit if you want to focus on the machine learning part, and this one certificate is a good overview of everything. It starts from data engineering till ML ops. So it covers everything, all the tools that you have to use in AWS according to a little bit of techniques. See, techniques we all know. So here the prerequisite is you should know coding, you should know maths and stats, you should know all these things. These certifications are just telling you how you can use the tools like AWS ecosystem to do those operations, to build SageMaker, to build models, to use S3 bucket, to use Glue, to use their endpoints. So that is the whole, you can say, focus of these certifications. You can't think of doing these certifications and then learning the 5 skills I talked to you about, right? Excel, SQL, Python, maths and stats, and machine learning. These things you have to know before. These certifications, whatever vendor-based certifications, are not teaching you fundamentals. They are just teaching you how you can use the fundamentals that you have learned from other places on the platforms. So many people, they don't know anything about Python, machine learning, statistics, and they go and start the certification, learning the certification, and then you will not understand the chapters, you will not understand, because the prerequisites is that you should have some knowledge. You should know what is training data, what is test data, what is validation data, what is R square, what is confusion metrics. They are not going to explain you there much. So these are the things that I will, just because this is one of the problem that everyone comes back to me and say they are not explaining these concepts. So this is I hope, Pavan, I answered your question.
Yes, I'm, what do you say, I am proficient in data science. The only thing that I think is lacking in my skill set is how I would deploy it on either AWS or Azure.
That is it. That's why that is very good. These tools are very good for you to understand the ecosystem, and maybe the certification can help you prove that you can do that, to work on AWS comfortably. Any client, if they're working on AWS, they want to get a data scientist, this certification can help. And these certifications are also helpful for new people who want to get into the job, and also people who want to do a transition to companies who are using a specific cloud, and you have the skill. Because many recruiters, they reach out to me specifically asking, do you know anyone with these certifications? And the prerequisite to do the certifications, you should know the fundamentals, and you should also know how to use AWS or Azure or Cloudera or whatever I'm going to talk about in the next sections. Thank you, Pavan.
One last question, if you don't mind.
Yeah, go ahead.
Would you be sharing the sources that I either train or we can pick it up from, or is that something that you share later?
So can you repeat your question? What resources?
No, like in the sense, say if I want to go through, I want to get the material where I can either practice or learn AWS for data science or Azure for data science. Would you be sharing those, maybe platforms or something like that, or?
Sure. So, Pavan, are you part of our AI community?
Yes, I joined yesterday.
Okay. So yes, I'll be sharing these things as well on the community. Right now, I don't have anything specific for these certifications, but whatever I am making a note for, I have one basic course for SageMaker. SageMaker is there in my academy. It is very basic for Amazon SageMaker. Specifically for certifications, what is the thing why I don't build a course on certifications? It changes every 3 months. Best source, so I am as best source is to, if you really want to learn the latest, you have to enroll in the vendor specific portals to get the latest releases, because as you know, Pawan, these SageMaker, all the Amazon ecosystem, they change every quarter. There is something or something new that comes up, and that can be asked in the certification, which I might not cover, and then people will reach out to me and say that your course was not enough for me to clear. So that is why I have not built a course on certifications, but I am mentoring people. I'm mentoring people. Whoever wants to do, I go through that and I mentor them, because I have to do this at every quarter level, and my bandwidth does not allow me to do that, because I am not only focused on AWS, I am focused on Azure, GCP and other platforms also. So maybe in our community I will request collaborations from someone who wants to do something like this and regularly, and build something, and then we can share with the community. So this is the purpose of the community that we have created, right? So we are getting people from all the areas of discipline, and they can share their knowledge and their experience. So thank you, Pawan, and if anything is there, I will share in the group, and we can also see anyone in the group who has done. I think Yasmina is waiting patiently, and then Dr. Rachita.
Good morning, Mohammed and everyone.
Good morning.
I want to ask, you can say I'm student and fresher in data science. I am engineering student, and I'm asking if data science, if I should go with it, but what about the future? Right now the artificial intelligence getting jobs. You can say I'm a little bit afraid of that, and if there is one day or how many years, so that they can make a bot and he do the statistics and analytics like that. This is my question.
Patrick, you want to answer this?
And the second question is, if I'm going through this data science, what should I learn, and resources, etc.
You want to answer, Patrick?
Karina, how are you? Okay, so you're worried that data science and AI jobs will take over, we can't avoid the technology, it's coming. Those who understand how to use it are the ones who are going to benefit. If you don't try to understand it, you will lose your job eventually. You have to. It's becoming ubiquitous. I mean, for example, just next week, Microsoft are launching in the next version of Windows the Microsoft Copilot, which is going to bring a whole suite of AI tools into Microsoft Office, into Word, Excel, etc., etc. So it's going to be on everybody's desktop anyway. It already has the Bing Chat integration, which is actually Chat GPT anyway. So in terms of, we have to embrace it. Now, if you're, as you said, you're a beginner and you're looking to understand how to get into this. So are you a member of our community?
Excuse me, I don't understand.
We have a data science and AI community. Are you a member of it? Have you joined it yet?
I think so, because I see the live.
Right. Okay. So that's a very.
You can send the link if it.
Yeah, I will send. I've just followed you on LinkedIn, so I'll send you a DM with the link after the meeting. So the group is designed to help people like you get started on this data science and AI adventure. So in the community, we have 3 or 4 different Zoom calls and events like this every week to help people begin. We have a whole series of courses on the community that you can take to start getting in, and we can advise you on getting certification and the right places to go to. And it's an interactive WhatsApp group where you can ask questions at any time. There's always people there to help answer and guide you and mentor you through the process of getting the certifications and the qualifications. What I would stress is, Yasmina, don't be afraid. Jump in. If you're passionate about this subject, then you are going to be way ahead of most people. Learn to use the technology to your benefit and help in your career. It's going to be an absolute key moving forward. So I will send you the details after the meeting, the community, and you can ping me. And if you follow Mohammed as well on LinkedIn, and you can join, I'll send you the link to join the community, and we will help you and guide you each step of the way to on this journey. And particularly Mohammed, he's a specialist in data science and AI. He has this community with many, many courses and programs to help people from who don't know anything about data science and AI get you to the point where you can get careers and jobs, a career going in AI and data science. Does that answer your question, Yasmin?
Yeah, thank you very much.
Perfect. I'll send you that message very soon. As soon as the meeting's over, I'll if you follow me as well, you can click on my picture and follow me. Then we'll be able to I'll send you all the information.
Hey Rachita, go ahead.
Hi Arshad, hi Patrick. This is kind of adding to Arshad's answer for power. I myself did AWS machine learning specialty last year without doing solution architect, associate, or without doing data analytics specialty. As he said, it tests both in terms of AWS services and your data science ability. And there are a couple of resources, and also in the group I shared a couple of details like how I prepared. Maybe if you would like to see that. And yeah, that's all.
Yeah, thank you, Rachita. If you can reshare it, I can put it on the Discord channel also. That is with the so in Discord channel, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to organize all the links and the resources. Like for AWS, I will create one channel. For Azure, Microsoft will create one channel, and whatever resources we get for AWS, like whatever you have. That's why I encourage everyone in the community to, I know WhatsApp, what happens, it is like a discussion group, we share links and it gets lost. So, but in Discord, we have a channel, like I have a channel for skills, channel for tools, channel for certification. I don't have a channel. I'm going to make a channel for only for certification today. And what you can post it on the group. I can just copy it and post it. I do try to do it, but my bandwidth, and I also miss out many messages. I will do that. So you can put it on WhatsApp again, or if you are in Discord, you can put it directly on Discord. And I will request Pawan or whoever in the call or in the community who is listening to the recording, please use our Discord. We are trying to put all the materials that is shared by the community in their respective channels. So suppose, and the thing is in Python, suppose in WhatsApp, suppose we are a ever growing community, we have around 30 to 40 people every day. You may not see the previous messages, but in Discord, if you go, you can see all the previous important links that is there according to the channel of your interest, and then you can accordingly use it. And that is a good thing about that. And as we grow, as our community is growing, maybe in the next year we were doing an analysis, will be more than around 10,000 people, right? So these people, everyone will benefit. And as we are going now, anyone who wants to do AWS certification maybe next year, the things will be completely different. I'm sure they're going to add generative AI component in that certification also, or maybe they will have a completely different generative AI certification where they use Jumpstart and the foundation models, or the Bedrock. No one knows. Let's see what happens. Things are changing very, very fast. So thank you, Rachita, for your contribution. Yasmina, if there is no more questions, you can raise your hands. I will continue for
Yasmina,
Tell me. Yeah, go ahead, Pat.
Sorry, Yasmina, Yasmin, I just sent you a connection request with details of the community. I did it while
Okay.
we asked. So just connect and you should be able to click on the link and join.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
So there are, if any one of you are not members of the AI community, kindly join it. It is nas.io/artificial intelligence. We have weekly 3 events and 1 workshop and lot of valuable resources in the space of AI and data science that is there. Now we talked about AWS, the first one. Now we will move to the second one, that is Azure. So for Azure, there are mainly 2 major certifications for Azure. That is, one is for the data analyst certification, and then there is a data scientist certification. So this is I'm talking now vendor specific. I talked about skill specific now, but I'm not talking in Azure. There is when you talk about Azure, it's a similar platform like AWS, where you can do analytics, right? Where you can use Azure, you can use the Azure tools to do these type of to do your work, right? I don't want to compare which is better, AWS or Azure. That is not my agenda right now. But if anyone is interested in Azure, there is a Microsoft certified Azure Enterprise Data Analyst Associate Certificate and a Data Scientist certification that is there. So these are the 2 major paths, certifications that you can do, and according to your interest. The exam, I think the number, I don't know, it is DP 500 or something, but you can look at this in when you are doing the research that is there. Now moving to, there are few other platforms that I wanted to tell. These 2 are the big ones, AWS and Azure. There is also GCP, Google Cloud Certifications, that is also according to your area of interest. There is BigQuery, there is Google Data Analyst certification. So Google also has few certifications, but to be honest, enterprise level, it is not so much valuable according to me, but maybe things are changing right now. If someone has any experience in Google certifications in the community, I know people do at entry level, they do data analyst certification and all those things, but at a enterprise level, there is Google Data Analytics Professional Certification. This is one certification that I tell, it is free, it is available in Coursera. I tell anyone who has the basic knowledge and does not have the budget to do AWS or Azure certification, they can go for this Google Data Analyst certification, which is available. To audit is free. Audit is free means you can go through the course free, but if you want the certification, and I'm sure everyone will want the certification because you are spending so much time and you need that to prove, then you need to pay some money, but it is worth it. It is worth it. Then we have, there are few other platforms. It keeps these are not the big 3s, but after that we have Cloudera. They have Cloudera Data Platform Certification. This is also one of the used legacy systems that is there. Then we have SAS Big Data and Data Scientist Certification. It is going down right now, but banks are still using it. If you go to banks and pharma companies and you are looking out for jobs in those companies, and it is mentioned SAS in that as a skill, if you have a certification, so if you want to target those roles, if you get a certification and you apply for those roles and they see your SAS certification, the chances of you to get hired is very much high. Now these are the vendor type certifications. One certification, if any person comes to me who is 2 through 3 years experience, and he tell me one certification that has industry level value, which is vendor free, that has industry wide recognition. Like we have our CFA, we have our account for our financial, for our accountants, we have these certifications, CIMA and all these bodies. So there is one certification called as a certified analytics profession. So it is by Informs. It is an Institute of Operations Research. So if you know about this, it is one of the managing bodies of certified analytics profession, and it manages the certification, and it is every quarter it changes the way they ask the questions. It is very much hands-on. It is the questions that they ask is very much interesting. It covers everything, starting with data engineering till ML ops, what we discussed completely data. So data engineering also includes requirement gathering, data gathering, making sure that the pipeline is working fine, data analysis, modeling, then deploying the model. So complete life cycle, and then measuring the value. Because at the end of the day, whenever we talk about analytics profession, you deploy a model. What is the benefit? So it is talking end to end. It is not only talking about the technical knowledge, how you are translating it to business. Because at the end of the day, a data scientist is not a programmer. He is a person who understands number and helps solve business problems. I'm mainly talking not in the research side minded. I'm talking for business analytics. If you want money from this profession, then you have to think how you can make money for the company using your models, using your technologies. So at the end of the day, that is what matters. There is a separate arm that does research work, that does clinical trials and all those things. That is very much advanced, and I'm not talking about that. And that is a very few percentage of the population. That is maybe 1 or 2% of the population. Rest 98% is into the business side of analytics, and what I am talking about: analytics, data science, generative AI, whatever is a new buzzword that is going on. So now these are the major things that are there. Something I might have missed off, but there are a lot of vendor specific certifications, like Alteryx is there. If you are struggling to get a job, many people ask me they're struggling to get a job, they have done their projects, there is still gaps, but they certification will help. Because I was mentioning in the last call yesterday, there is a lot of competition. Everyone is 80%, right? Everyone is 80%. You have to do little bit extra, and certification is a guaranteed way of you to not only it will increase your confidence about the tool and the technology. If you study it yourself, right? If you go through shortcuts like buying dumps or getting anyone else to give the exams and just passing for numbers, then it may not help. But if you are studying by yourself, giving the hard work, giving time, doing the certification yourself, you will have the confidence, and then you have a community where you tell that you are certified, or you apply, use those keywords and look for jobs that are looking for that certificate, people who are working in that particular technology or vendor, and reach out to the hiring manager and tell them that I have done the certification. And the recency of certification is very important. One thing I have noticed, there was one person who came to me. He said that he had done this certification 4 years back. I told that is not at all relevant right now, because things have changed 4 years back so much. Like Power BI certification 4 years back was like the Power BI that was there 4 years back and that is there now is completely different. That time there was no DAX also. The DAX also was not used so much in the certification, but now is completely of DAX, data analysis expressions. So recency is also really important. And so that is why I'm telling you, maybe he had done the certification to switch job at that time, and that was the case. But right now, if there is a recency of certification, that really also adds an extra point, and keep applying, keep messaging to the hiring manager that I have done this certification and I am very much comfortable to work in this particular role. And this is really going to help you, and it is going to do that extra 85%. It is going to add the 5%, and it is going to distinguish you from the market, from the competition that is there. Generalization is good, but the main challenge, to be honest, what I feel right now is to get into the data science and AI field for a job. That is one of the biggest challenge. The second challenge is how you maintain your job, how you keep yourself updated. That is the second challenge. That is also very, very important. Getting a job, entering the market, and then keep learning. That is the only way for us to survive. And the second way to survive, and I was reading a report just before this call and I also shared in the group, the trend is going from jobs to entrepreneurship. This is a trend that is happening, but it will take some time. And I will not encourage anyone to not work, not do their of degrees. That basic things is always there. I have worked for almost 17 years before I started my startup. I have 17 years of work experience in Accenture, Hewlett Packard, Dell. So this experience teaches you a lot of things: how company operates, how team works, and that is why I'm able to build my startup. But anyone who is initially who thinks that he wants to do a startup, the chances of him to get the real experience is not easy. So getting a job or collaborating with people, doing projects is the wave of the future. In the next few years, this is going to be the trend. More entrepreneurs are going to come up who are going to build products, solve a particular problem, and people are going to move away from full-time jobs to it is gig economy. We all know gig economy. Go to Fiverr. Many people say they don't get work. Why don't you go to Fiverr and upskill? There are so many opening opportunities there in Freelancer, Upwork, Fiverr. Go and take projects and do the projects. So there is there is a demand for work, but there is a very less demand of good quality you can say quality resources out there who can prove themselves. And these are the things that what we are telling you. If you can take the advice and plan your journey, do the hard work. Patrick and I was mentioning earlier, blogging, and even Sabiha told in the call, whatever you are learning, write about it on LinkedIn, make a Substack or a blog, talk about it. The chances, if you talk about your blog, see, knowing the technique is one thing and expressing it is second. How you are expressing your learning and how you are telling it to people is also a skill, and that is going to be more and more important. Look for these small things that is going to distinguish you from the market. If you keep having the same resume, the same projects, and expecting for you to get a job is not going to happen in this particular era. So Patrick, you want to add anything?
Can you hear me?
Yes, Patrick.
Yeah, so I mean, with the blogging thing, I'm a blogger myself, and there's two things with blogging. One is it shows off your knowledge. So if you're interested in data and science and AI, then start a blog and talk about what's going on in the world of data science and AI. If you're comfortable in front of a camera, start a YouTube channel and start talking about AI and data science. These are things you can put on your CV. Secondly, YouTube channels and blogging, if you produce it the right way and it catches on, then it can produce a very nice secondary income, or even ultimately a full-time income, where you're educating, teaching people about AI, data science, etc. So, but as Mohammed said, you've got to stand up above the crowd. So, first thing is, of course, you have to have all of these certifications. That's the baseline. Second thing I would say is, we haven't talked about it, but we have talked about it in the past, is industry knowledge for a particular niche. So, if you are an expert on retail and you understand the language of retail and you can incorporate data science and AI into retail and you understand how to use data science and AI in retail, and you can talk in the language of that, you can put those keywords on your CV, and you have all the certifications and you have a blog talking about it, for example on LinkedIn, you can do all this on LinkedIn, then you're going to stand way above everybody else on your CV. That's really important. So industry knowledge on a particular niche that you're interested in, it could be airlines, it could be retail, it could be logistics, it could be healthcare. There's so many different industries that are using AI and data science now. And as we've always said, Mohammed and I, build your own projects. Yeah, if you're a coder, build your own projects. If you're a data analyst, get some open data, plenty of open data sources from Dubai government, like real estate, medical, etc. You can download that data and you can play with it in Power BI, you can play with it with Python, and then load up those projects onto GitHub or your own personal website. You've got to brand yourself and tell people what you're doing. and that allows you to stand way above everybody else as well. So, as Mohammed said, you've just basically got to stick out amongst the crowd. That's the only way to ensure that you're going to get your CV will be at the top of the pile.
We have Vibinson. Can you go ahead with your question? Vibinson Victoria, can you hear us? Or hear? I don't know. Okay, Pavan, you were unmuting. Where you wanted to add something?
Yeah, sorry, because once you come into the speakers, it's very hard to raise your hand. I don't see the icon anywhere. I just wanted to, I was trying to look for, the Discord server link or invitation. Is there some place that I can find it?
So it is there on the, you're on the WhatsApp community, Pavan. It is there on the guide, the description of the group, and after the call, I can put it again. If you are there in our WhatsApp community, right, Pavan?
Yeah, I will check it and I will.
Yeah,
in case I'm not able to get it, I will get back to you.
Yeah, I will paste it again after the call. After I taking the call, after this call, I'll paste it. Vibinson, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, am I audible?
Yes.
Yeah,
I think I have.
Thanks, Mohammed. Yeah, thanks, Mohammed, for your initiative. Okay, so the same question I have to know, the Discord link, I could not find it anywhere since I am not in that WhatsApp group. Can you please send it to the Discord link?
So, who was this? Vibinson, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so Vibinson, nas.io/artificial intelligence. It is there on the banner of the event. If you can see, it is a community. So you just need to join. Just put your number. It's a WhatsApp community. And in that, after the call, I'm again going to put the Discord again, just for everyone's reference. It is there also in the description of the WhatsApp community as well.
Okay. Sure.
And I will put it again. Sure. Just join the group nas.io/artificial intelligence. And then I will put it in the group as well, the Discord, where we are trying to push everything in Discord, the materials. And for the discussions, we are keeping the WhatsApp group, and the nas.io platform that I'm telling you, it has all the events, all the recordings, all the courses that are there that you can have a look at as well later on.
Sure.
Also, in this box where we're all speaking, if you click on the three little dots at the top, and you go view event details, it takes you to the event page, and there the links are also placed there as well, the nas.io.
Yeah, thank you, Patrick. Okay, cool.
So if you look at the actual LinkedIn page event for this event, which you get to by clicking on those three dots at the top of this box where we're all speaking in, then you'll see the link in the comment section for the artificial intelligence group.
Thank you, Vibinson. I think Shoaib was before he raised his hand before. Mr. Shoaib Suleiman, go ahead, please.
Thank you, Mohammed, and good day to everybody. I joined you a bit late, but I just wanted to find out with regards to the certifications. Maybe before I get into that, maybe just give you some context. So I am from a finance background, and I'm looking to somewhat pivot or add business analytics. I've just completed an MBA in business analytics, and part of that was like the SQL, the Tableau, and machine learning, etc. Do I still need to do, I joined when you guys were talking about the certifications. Given that I have this MBA, is it beneficial to have other certifications like SQL, etc., Tableau? I must admit, Power BI wasn't part of that, so that is something I will be taking up going forward. So that's the first part of the question. And then the second part is, if I'm looking to further my studies, probably with a doctorate, what would be your advice in terms of the area of specialization looking into the future?
Okay.
Thanks.
Thank you, Shoaib. So, are you having a job right now?
I'm doing some consulting work at the moment. I'm in between jobs. I just finished my MBA, waiting on the final results, and I'm in the job market at the moment.
Okay, so in Australia, right?
No, South Africa.
South Africa. So I don't know about the South African market specifically, but now you are the best person. Now you have an MBA, you have your resume, you apply for jobs, and you see the responses. What we are telling you right now, this specific call, our community that I am talking mostly, it is a global community, but we see the trends because most of the people in the community are from India and this Gulf region, and there's a lot of competition, right? I don't know about South Africa about the competition. If the competition is high, if there are and this and you have the, I'm sure you will have the understanding yourself if when you're applying. These things will benefit. Degree is always there. Degree is just not, we know the educational system that it is not relevant to the type of work we do. It is just good for giving you an overall knowledge of things that are there, but the real skills that are required at a job is not taught to us in these colleges. So projects, so again what Patrick told, again I'm repeating, you have to have real projects with you, you have to have a good portfolio, and if you have a certification, it is going to be an added cherry on the top, and you can beat the competition. And it is also for your confidence, right? You will know, suppose you said you want to do Power BI, so now how will you prove that you know Power BI? A PL 300 certification will prove that. You spend 3 months to learn Power BI, practice Power BI, give the exam, you have a credibility that you know Power BI. You can get a project immediately on Power BI, and I'm sure you'll be able to deliver it because you cleared the PL 300. And PL 300 is and all the certifications that right now, to be honest, what I am seeing in the last 3-4 years, it has become very hands-on. It is not asking you questions like what is the line graph, what is bar. They are not going to ask you theoretical questions. They are going to ask you hands-on. Hey Patrick, you were telling something. Sorry.
No. So, well, two things. Firstly, Shoaib, I would always recommend getting the industry certifications for the tools on top of your MBA. The MBA is obviously important. It's good for long-term future career prospects, but getting true and proper certifications for the most popular tools for business analytics that people use in South Africa, whatever that might be, because we don't know the market there, then yes, get those certifications. And as for a PhD, that's complicated. I don't know how funding works in South Africa, but for example, in the UK universities get funding for various research projects, and then you get latched onto that PhD, and hopefully it's something similar to what you're interested in. It's very rare that a PhD student gets to do a PhD in something they really want to do. It's all down to funding, so I don't know how it works in South Africa, but if you're able to self-fund a PhD, then try and tie in perhaps with a company there that's looking to solve or do research on a major problem that they have, and how data science and business analytics could, and then also you need to tie in with the university, so you'd have some kind of professor invigilating you and sponsoring you with a company that's trying to solve the problem, and yourself, if you can get those three parts together, then you should be able to, you're solving a real business problem, you're getting your PhD, and that should be a very good track for getting a job in the company afterwards, I would imagine as well. So that would be the kind of advice. We don't know the South African market, but I'm assuming it would be on similar grounds to what you would perhaps do in the UK or in India. Does that answer your question?
Yes, thanks Patrick, and thanks Mohammed. I think maybe just to touch on a few assumptions. So in terms of the South African market, I think we are laggers, taking our cue probably from the likes of the UAE, India, etc., probably America, etc. So there's room, in a sense, I could say I'm somewhat slightly ahead in terms of the curve from a market perspective. And then in terms of jobs, I think it comes back to the fact that we're slightly behind, and that the skill set seems to be very specialized. So in other words, either you're a data scientist or you're a finance expert. And I'm trying to position myself in a niche where I'm both of those, let's put it that way, to kind of unlock business value in many domains as well.
Okay.
So with that, what I'm getting at is that I'm not tied, and I don't want to be tied down, because if I join a company and they're working on a very amateur problem because the technology or the state of technology is still in its infancy, I would then be restricted by virtue of working on somewhat of an insignificant project. So I'm looking to see which is the area I would like to specialize, where there would be the most value, probably over the next 5, 10, 15 years. And then once I've established that, is target entities or organizations or projects or niches that will advance me in that particular area.
Sure.
I'm not sure if that comes across clearly.
I mean, you can do remote PhDs as well. You don't have to tie yourself to universities in South Africa.
That is something that's very exciting for me,
You
given that I'm
university
able to work in an international university. Yes. So
I would imagine universities in India, UK definitely do it. US, you've been.
I must say, I did my MBA through an Indian institution. And it was quite enjoyable, despite having the concerns about being able to extract value, etc. I found it quite, and at my leisure and at my time, I was able to get the thing done. So I quite like that.
Yeah, so a part-time PhD can normally in a UK university, which is the ones I'm used to, can take 5 years at a part-time level. Normally they're 3 years full-time, but they can take 5, 6 years. So you wouldn't be like, working on it full-time, it would be part-time while you're doing other things. And you can contact the universities, you go to different websites of universities in the UK, they have PhDs for different areas. But subject matter, then it's got to be something around AI. That's the big new wave that's coming, I would think. So maybe it's a question of picking a particular industry like healthcare or retail or transportation, something you're interested in, trying to find the universities that have departments and research grants associated with that, and then talking to them about doing a remote PhD. Apologies for my cat. Does that help?
Thank you so much. It makes a lot of sense, Patrick. At least it gives me a few pointers to work towards. But yeah, thanks.
Thank you, Shoaib. Are you part of our community, nas.io/artificial intelligence?
Yes, I am. Yes, I am part of your community.
So thank you, and yes, look forward for more such good discussions. So I think I just wanted to conclude the call. We have 3 more minutes, and there are no more questions coming from the audience. Thank you. If anyone wants to come and give the last comments, you can raise your hands, and there's an option, or else I can just conclude whatever we have done.
I have something to say.
Yeah, go ahead.
A general request out there. There's clearly a demand in the group for understanding career opportunities for the future. So if any of you know of somebody who is a recruiter that specializes in data science and AI jobs, can you ping us their contact details to either myself or Mohammed on LinkedIn or in the group? Because we would love to get them and present on our regular weekly community meeting. And the idea would be they would present to us about what your CV should look like. What is the job market like in the UAE, for example, for these types of jobs? How do you stand out in the market? These kind of things. So if you work in recruitment, or you know somebody who you're talking with because you're searching for jobs who might be interested in presenting to the group about something, please contact myself or Mohammed either on LinkedIn or in the group, and we can arrange for them to come and do a presentation.
Thank you. So thank you everyone for joining. I'll just conclude by telling that lately, as the competition is increasing, certification really helps for two things. One is your confidence in that particular technology and tool, and also it distinguishes you from the competition. And be part of our community. Go to the nas.io/artificial intelligence. All the events are updated, 3 weekly events and 1 live workshop. Do join us. Tell your community, tell your friends about this, tell your network about this community. We are planning to impart knowledge, and the things are changing at a very fast pace, and being part of community really helps us to at least have an idea what is going on, and cut the noise out there and focus on what is important for you and for the growth of each of us. So thank you all for joining, and have a happy Sunday the rest of the day, and see you in our next event, that is on Tuesday 7 p.m. Dubai time. Have a great evening. Take care.
Bye, everybody. Bye.
Bye bye.